President Moon Jae-in arrived in Vietnam, the first leg of this 7-day two-nation tour. His focus in the Southeast Asian country will be boosting bilateral relations between Seoul and Hanoi in economic, diplomatic, as well as people-to-people exchanges. Our Chief Cheongwon correspondent Moon Connyoung starts us off.
South Korea's Air Force One lands and taxis into the Noi Bai Airport in Hanoi. Minutes later, South Korean President Moon Jae-in and First Lady Jung-sook step out of the plane, kicking off the South Korean leader's 3-day state visit to Vietnam. The visit is the first leg of Mr. Moon's 7-day two-nation tour, which will also take him to the United Arab Emirates, his first overseas trip of the year, and one focus on the president's efforts for market expansion.
Vietnam is currently South Korea's biggest trading partner, the biggest investment destination, biggest partner in people-to-people exchange, as well as development cooperation among members of the ASEAN. It is also a core partner country for our new Southern policy.
President Moon's new Southern policy unveiled during his visit to Indonesia last November is aimed at better connecting South Korea to Southeast Asia and expand the economic clout of Asia's fourth largest economy in the region, home to more than 500 million people. But it was the football field that the South Korean president visited as his first stop in Vietnam, training ground of Vietnam's national football team led by South Korean head coach Park Hang-seo. Park rose to fame in Vietnam after he led the country's under-23 national team to the AFC U23 Championship Finals, making it the very first Southeast Asian country to do so. President Moon said the phenomenal achievement by head coach Park and his team demonstrated the joint strength of the two countries. President Moon Jae-in will continue his efforts to strengthen bilateral relations with the Southeast Asian country all throughout his 3-day stay here in Vietnam. Later this evening, he's scheduled to meet with South Korean nationals living in this country, including South Korean coaches leading Vietnamese national teams in soccer, archery, and shooting, as well as Vietnamese families who have wed into South Korean families. Moon Connyoung, Arirang News, Hanoi.